think about it as a potential case study for your portfolio. This is the most important bit. Don't do this challenge if you just feel like it. Do it because it might become a case study in your portfolio, and come with that kind of notion, that drive. Because if you've come from that, you're more likely to follow through and actually make a top-notch case study, which might get you that next job or next opportunity you're after. Where should I start? What should I do? What sort of project should I take on, and where to begin with ultimately? And this is a question which I get a lot from a lot of different entry-level and junior designers and even seniors, because they just don't know how to make projects. And a lot of you are quite stuck because you don't know where to start. So this is why I kept doing these challenges, and this is why I'm bringing it back in, because we need yet another challenge. We need to give you ideas of where you can get out of comfort zone and actually make a project if you don't have anything in your mind. And if you notice in the news recently, there has been some development about quote-unquote dark patterns. I hate that term. I think it doesn't have severity. It's not serious enough for anyone to take it seriously apart from design, but hey, doesn't really matter. Anyways, in California, they made some legislative moves recently which almost made it illegal to prevent people from opting out from third-party services and them collecting data. So it's all about privacy, but there is so much more you can do with those manipulative, exploitative, criminal patterns. And this is exactly the theme of this challenge, because the other day I had the same exact toothache of the process to deal with when I was trying to cancel my mobile broadband. I'm a customer of Vodafone, and I literally went out and just tracked down exactly what did it take to actually log in to access your account, to try to cancel it and do so unsuccessfully. And I spent 28 minutes to exit on that plan and actually cancel it. And this is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to take a business. It could be that you take any other business, but think about the ends. Think about the customer experience and user experience touchpoints where it comes to cancellation of a service, of a product, of whatever it is you could think of. And I came up and kind of documented at least the basics for you. So if you don't experience that yourself, or you don't really want to cancel one of your own services, just go through the cancellation flow, because I was very, very specific. I went through the key touch points I would do. I mapped some of the pain points and kind of showcased exactly what it was. Of course, I masked out information which you shouldn't know, but I also went through and kind of showcased you exactly my interaction with a chatbot, let's say, which was the only way to cancel that specific plan. And it was a chatbot asking me about the information, then they shifted me to one support person, then the next support person, and I was just kept repeating the same information that they want to cancel. This is my name, this is the ID of a plan. 16 or 15 minutes later, I finally succeeded to cancel it, and I kind of marked out all the pain points, which, by the way, I'm going to leave a link down below so you can check it out and you can see exactly what was the experience like, and also rated the experience, which was 4 and 5 out of 10 stars, which, by the way, gonna make sense just in a second when I'm gonna give you a brief of a challenge. But I'm basically said that it's shifting team to team. I had to repeat information countlessly and just spent over 15 minutes trying to cancel a simple account, which, by the way, you cannot do anything about but to call or chat with a chatbot, with a support person. So you cannot just, click a button on the dashboard, let's say, where you see the accounts and simply cancel it. It just doesn't exist. And of course, I tried to use their different plan detail pages, settings detail pages, account pages. I outlined it all for you. Of course, the login and security was a hassle. There was a lot of loading screens and kind of shifting from one side to the other. It's just a hell of the experience. And it seemed like Vodafone are trying to prevent me to cancel my account, which is, hey, what a surprise, right? We as a designers can actually improve that user experience, can we not? I think you already have in mind exactly what you could be doing immediately to solve it. But hold on, what I want you to do first is actually understand the business need, the business challenges. Like, why would Vodafone call you as a designer to improve this flow? Because we probably want to retain the customers, which might be contradictory to actually making it easy for them to cancel. So this challenge is really, if we take it from a business perspective, Vodafone have been growing throughout the pandemic, throughout the 2020, and in the first quarter of this year, they experienced a massive growth. Right now, they have almost 800,000 customers for broadband, exactly what we are targeting here. And of course, I'm just kind of thinking exactly on a high level what could be a challenge for them, but it would be definitely about retaining those customers, attracting more customers so they can sustain that growth. Shareholders are going to be saying, hey, if we are growing at 5%, let's make 6%. And those measures are definitely going to be in place. And of course, it's just me guessing. And then enhancing customer experience, the satisfaction scores, we're definitely keeping a track of the KPIs, of the service quality, of the support lines. This is exactly why, for example, they asked me to rate it and say, hey, how likely you recommend this service? Was it helpful? Is the team member resolved the query? Things of that nature. So we're definitely tracking it if they're asking me to input, right? So it matters to them. How can you make that user experience good enough for the customers who still want to cancel? All those different considerations you might have in your mind are exactly spot on, because if you think about it, the customers or users might have a life event, maybe are shifting houses. Perhaps we just want to pause or freeze that specific membership because of one of the life events, or they maybe got a fallout or something like that. Some sort of event could have happened, or even maybe they shifted the providers, which is fine enough. Maybe you can give them a better deal, things of that nature, which you need to consider. But who will you target in this case? If you come up with a better experience, who are you going to target? What demographics, what behaviors you want to consider, what life events? You might want to be quite specific. Also, what matters to them? What challenges do they face? What can you anticipate? What sort of other competitors are there in the market who might provide a better service? And of course, outlining that. And to help you out, I also gave you a few bits you could look into. So for example, you might want to engage with actual people if you want to do user research, or you might want to go on Reddit or Google or Twitter and just look exactly what issues people experience. You could engage with one-to-ones, do interviews, but you also could get a grasp and inform yourself as much as you want. Again, scope is up to you to define. If you want to prototype and just do UI design, if you're a UI designer, great. If you want to do UX research, do UX research. If you want to do it end to end, do that by all means. I would, be super happy to review that live and share with other people. And I also, as in previous challenge, giving you some bits to think about, in discovery, ideation, definition, doesn't matter what you do, to just go through and think, do I need a proto persona? Do I need to map it further? Can I just use what V provided me in that experience map on a high level? Is that enough? Do I need to do just wireframes? Do I need to prototype? Do I need to use user test? Do I need to do anything at all? So this might give you a glimpse into the process. So I'm gonna leave a link with you. Explore it. Try to go through the pain points first and foremost. Try to go through the steps, which are quite ludicrous. There is just so much which you could do to immediately improve it. And as a UX designer, you could just add a touch and it might improve the experience. But is it meaningful for the business? That's what you might want to marry up and think exactly what you could do. I pulled out the timings on purpose here, by the way, so that, let's say, the total time required to cancel a service is 28 minutes. One of the metrics which you might want to care about, as it doesn't matter what user, is efficiency. How quick can you achieve your goal? If it just takes 1 minute to cancel your account, it's gonna be probably quite delightful. If it takes half an hour, it's a headache, and I experienced that, and I can tell you that I'm quite unlikely to cancel my account. So maybe Vodafone know what they're doing to make it as painful as possible, that people wouldn't just every day cancel their accounts. But there is so much more information. Just look at it. And an outline of a challenge immediately is, how could you help retain the customers for Vodafone, but also provide an optimal experience for your users, for your customers, so that we can cancel the account if we need to. Also think, what scope do you want to do? Do you want to research? Do you want to product design? Do you want to do anything else? You can do it end to end. Think about it as a potential case study for your portfolio. This is the most important bit. Don't do this challenge if you just feel like it. Do it because it might become a case study in your portfolio, and come with that kind of notion, that drive, because if you've come from that case, you're more likely to follow through and actually make a top-notch case study, which might get you that next job or next opportunity you're after. As per usual, submit the entries to hello@vaexperience.com, my email, and the deadline is 1 month, end of May. And don't hold off. I can't wait to see exactly what you submit and what you come up with, because it's super exciting. Based on other live streams, always blows my mind your interpretation of a challenge and what you come up with. As per usual, give a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if it's new to you, because there's going to be more videos like this. And on that note, I'll see you in a month.